In this tutorial, we will learn about component reusability in React Native by creating reusable UI components. Instead of writing the same UI elements repeatedly, we will create a custom button and a custom text input field that can be used across multiple screens. To demonstrate how reusable components work dynamically, we will start by setting up navigation first, then create placeholder screens, and finally populate them with our components, progressively updating the app. By the end of this video, you will understand how to reuse components efficiently while maintaining flexibility and customization. We begin by setting up the folder structure. Inside our project directory, we create a folder named Source. This will store our application logic in a well-organized manner. Inside SRC, we create two subfolders: components to store our reusable UI components, and screens to store the screens that use these components. Before creating the screens, we need to set up navigation to handle screen switching. Inside SRC, we create a new file named rootnavigator.jsx, which will handle our bottom tab navigation. Next, we install the required packages for React Navigation and the bottom tab Navigator. After installation, we proceed to set up the navigator inside rootnavigator.jsx. We import the necessary modules from React Navigation and initialize a bottom tab navigator inside the component. We define two screens, pressable screen and text input screen, which will be displayed when switching between tabs. At this stage, these screens do not exist yet, so to prevent errors, we create placeholder components inside pressable screen.jsx and text input screen.jsx, returning simple view elements with text. This allows us to connect the navigator before fully implementing the screens. Now that the navigation is set up, we connect it to our main application file. We open app.jsx, import the root navigator component, and return it inside our app component. This ensures that our navigation system is the entry point of the application. At this stage, if we run the app, we will see a bottom tab navigation bar with two tabs labeled Pressable and Text Input. Clicking on each tab will switch screens, but they currently only display placeholder text. With navigation in place, we move on to building reusable components. Inside the Components folder, we create custom pressable.jsx, a reusable button component. Inside this file, we define a functional component named custom pressable, which accepts four props: title, onPress, style, and text style. The component returns a pressable element that applies default styles, a pressed effect, and custom styles passed from the parent screen. The text inside the button also supports a customizable text style. Below the component, we define styles using Style Sheet, giving the button a default background color and border. We export this component so it can be used across different screens. Next, we create a reusable input field inside custom text input.jsx. This component takes value onChange text, placeholder, style, and input style as props. It returns a view container wrapping a text input field. The container has a default border, and both the container and input field support custom styles from the parent component. This makes the input field flexible and easy to modify when used inside different screens. Now that we have reusable components, we update our screens to use them dynamically. We start with pressable screen.jsx, where we import custom pressable and replace the placeholder text with our button. We pass a title, an onPress function that triggers an alert when clicked, and a custom style overriding the default background color. Similarly, in text input screen.jsx, we replace the placeholder text with custom text input. We use useState to manage the input value dynamically and pass on change text to update it. Additionally, we apply a custom border color and text color to show how reusable components can be customized differently inside each screen. With the updated screens in place, we refresh the app. Switching between the tabs now shows a button on the pressable screen and an input field on the text input screen. Pressing the button triggers an alert, and typing in the input field updates the text, proving the components work dynamically. To showcase customization, we updated the styles from the screens without modifying components themselves. In PressableScreen.jsx, we changed the button color from gray to red. In TextInputScreen.jsx, we changed the input field's border color from green to blue. After saving and refreshing, the button and input field reflected these changes without modifying the core components, demonstrating reusability and flexibility. In summary, we set up navigation, created placeholder screens, and progressively added reusable components. This approach reduces code duplication, simplifies maintenance, and allows for scalable applications with clean, modular code.